Hello, everyone. What initially drew me into researching the Apache was this man right here. This is my uncle, and about 3 or 4 years ago, he received a call to be a world missionary on the White Mountain Apache Reservation in Arizona to be the pastor of two congregations. And much to the surprise of all of us, he took it because previously he had been a pastor in Los Angeles for about 20 years, so it was quite the culture shift. But I went and visited them about 2 years ago, and I was able to see what he does, learn about his work, and meet and interact with some of the Apache people. One of the things that I wanted to point out was his beaded Luther Seal medallion right here. This was made for him by one of his congregation members in appreciation for all that he does. And it is, you can't see it up close right now, but it is all beadwork done. And if one of the things that the Apaches are masters at are beadwork. It's one of the things that they use to decorate their outfits, and it is just masterfully done. The history of the Wells missionaries starts actually right with this tree. Uh, when the Wells discovered that there was an untapped mission field in southwest Arizona, they sent down two missionaries in the late 1800s, and those two missionaries met underneath this tree with the chief at the time, which was Chief Alchazay. And while they were talking with the chief, they asked his permission if they could come into the tribe and they could start teaching and preaching the Apaches about Christianity. And Chief Alchazay gave the missionaries his permission and allowed the missionaries to open up four churches. And so the missionaries opened up those four churches, and quickly enough, they saw that the four churches weren't going to be enough. On the East Fork campus, where my uncle is a pastor, the mission is where it all started. That tree that we just looked at can be found on the East Fork campus. The East Fork mission is where it all started. And shortly after meeting with Chief Alchazay and opening up those four churches, they discovered that there was a need for an orphanage. And so the Wells opened up an orphanage on the East Fork mission, and it exploded. There were Apache orphans just everywhere, and so they were able to have a place for these orphans, and they were able to take care of them. And shortly after that, they discovered, well, we have these orphans, and now we need a way to teach them. And so they opened up East Fork Lutheran Academy, which was a dormitory school. And so after being at the orphanage, those children went next door to the academy and they learned, and then they came back to the orphanage for the day. And then when they were old enough, they lived in the dormitory. And after that, they were considered adults and they were able to move on with their life. But it was an excellent tool that the Wells was able to use to reach these Apaches in this way. And of course, the news of this orphanage and the success of the school went about through the community. And so soon enough, the East Fork Lutheran Academy became East Fork Lutheran School and opened up its doors to any and all Apache that wanted to be there. These are the two or the two churches that my uncle teaches at or preaches at. We have Canyon Day and East Fork, which is over here, which is on the campus of the East Fork School. Um, the need for pastors became abundant, and so the Wells missionaries decided they were going to open their own seminary on the Apache campus here on East Fork, and they call it the Apache Christian Training School, or ACTS. And they opened up the school in the hopes that more Apache men would want to become pastors and learn and preach and teach to their native people. So far, we've had two graduates from the Apache Christian Training School, who have become pastors and have come back and have become pastors in this area on the White Mountain Reservation. My uncle shares quite regularly the joys of being with the Apache. He says that they are just thirsting for the word. They can't get enough of it. But on the flip side, he also deals with some cultural and some Apache root and culture things that kind of butt up against each other. We have the Apache who want to be Wells Lutherans, but they also don't want to forget about their Apache roots and cultures, understandably so. Currently, there's about 3,600 baptized members of the Wells on the Apache Reservation. They are served by 8 congregations, 5 missionaries, 2 of which are the pastors that came from the Apache Christian Training School. There are 17 teachers at East Fork, which is both a grade school and now a high school. 4 of those teachers are actually Apache of their own. The Lord is showering blessings upon the Apache Reservation, and it was such a blessing to be able to go down there to see and experience what my uncle goes through every day and to get to meet some people and to learn the culture.